What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy DC1, the D313 XP, man. It's your boy back in the building, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on here, man. So very excited to be back. As you see what I got on today, we gotta talk about some Detroit Pistons, man. Um, yeah, gotta talk about it, man. So I want to thank everybody that always showing love with the channel, just to support, man. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I'm happy to be back. Glad to talk some sports again, man. So, um, unfortunately, the Lions season had ended Saturday, which we all know. Definitely, I'm just not in the mood to talk about Detroit Lions at the moment. But I'm here to talking some what's been going on with the Detroit Pistons. So, we're gonna talk about the Detroit Pistons. So, as you know, the Pistons pulled out the victory yesterday against the Atlanta Hawks, 124 to 114. Kay Cunningham with another strong performance yesterday. Shows why he should be in an All-Star game. Obviously, Kay Cunningham, he's been unbelievable. He's already had 7 triple doubles this year. Third only to LeBron and believe Luca as well. So, but Kay Cunningham he's been unbelievable this year, man. He's continuing to get better and better each and every time, man. Kay Cunningham has been our heart and soul on this team. Um, Kay Cunningham is a guy that people been talking about. We finally get some type of national media attention. We finally get some of that. So just very happy about that, man. So you see, he was on TNT the other day. It was just huge. It was huge, in there talking with Shaq and Candace Parker, Vince Carter, and Adam Lefko, and just being on there, being mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Be the Piston is mentioned out there on national television. Him on NBA Today with interview with Malika Andrews was huge, man. It was very huge. So, we started seeing the winner culture, man. We started seeing what's been going on with this team, man. So Kay Cunningham has been unbelievable. He's been one of the main reasons why this Pistons team has been successful going, this season. We already won 9 more games than we won last year, and this is just January, just the beginning of the year. So this has had the best record in the month of January so far. Pistons has been playing significant basketball, and I'm proud of this team, man. Definitely proud of this team. The chemistry, the togetherness, the brotherhood. These guys love playing. They love playing for each other, man. They love to compete. They play defense. They share the basketball. They make each other better, man. So I'm proud of this team, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So the reason come and talk about this, also talk about this Detroit Pistons team, because there's been a lot of buzz been going on about playoffs, and obviously if the playoffs started today, the Pistons will be as a 6th seed as of right now. They would be a 6th seed if they would play the New York Knicks, which the Pistons already beat the New York Knicks 2 out of the 3 times already, both on the road. Both of the wins is on the road at the Madison Square Garden, and then the one loss that we had at LCA. But the Pistons, if it was to play the New York Knicks, I think it'd be a hell of a matchup. JB Bickerstaff has already, when he was in Cleveland, already played against this New York Knicks team, even though they got eliminated in the first round 2 years ago. But he shows that JB Bickerstaff, he's been built in this situation before, so he knows, he understands it. So, but that's just if it was the playoffs was to start today. But we still got a long ways to go. We still got a lot of season. We still got a head coming up. We still got a trade deadline gonna be coming up. Got an All-Star coming up. So there's still a lot of seasons, there's still a lot of games left to play. So definitely, the Pistons will keep being going, man. This is going to be because the Eastern Conference really, to me, outside of Cleveland and Boston, it's not really top heavy to me. Outside of those two teams, clearly you got the New York. You got the Boston Celtics defending the defending champions. Obviously, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, was by measures you not never didn't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers would be what they are. It's the number one seed, the best record in the Eastern Conference. But Cleveland's been playing some great ball. Um, so what I look at this, I want to go to the standings right quick. The reason when I want to go to these standings is because if you really look at it in the Eastern Conference, as you see, when I mentioned these two teams, Cleveland and Boston, um, two teams that clearly are the better teams. New York is the third seed as of right now, but New York has its ups and downs. You don't know what you're gonna get, what you're gonna get for the New York Knicks. Milwaukee is coming along. I know they had a slow start, they had a shaky start. And you could look out for Milwaukee's is gonna be around. Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers is a solid team, but it's this team it's just still don't trust. And you look and see the Detroit Pistons, who has 6 seed, and this is why the game they played against Atlanta was so important, because of the simple fact, by them winning that game, they have the tiebreaker. If they was to tie with Atlanta, and the Pistons already beat Atlanta twice this year already, and I believe they play another game, one more tie up. And then they beat you got the teams like the Orlando Magic, the Miami Heats, and the Chicago Bulls. Those are the playing teams. If the currently instructed right now, you got the Philadelphia 76ers. Don't know if they're going to be in contention for a player or not. It remains to be seen. But if you really look at this Pistons team, I'm projecting if they could keep this pace going, I could believe that the Pistons could possibly be a 4th seed. Would you imagine a Pistons team be a 4th seed, having home court at least in the first round? Can you just imagine that? The huge turnaround from a last year's disaster, you won 14-68, and turn around and be a playoff team. Don't even have to worry about the play-in. Can you just imagine that? Of a huge turnaround, But like I said, there's still a lot of games left to be played. Pistons are currently on a road trip right now. But yeah, the Eastern Conference is not that deep to me. If you really look at it, to me, I don't see the East Conference. It's just not that deep to me. You can say what you want, about the New York and Milwaukee's and Indianas and the Worlds and all that, but I'm not afraid of those teams. If I'm the Detroit Pistons, I'm not afraid of those teams. Yes, I know Milwaukee's had our number for a long time. Milwaukee has beaten us. I can't remember how many times we haven't beat Milwaukee in a long time. I think we do for a win against Milwaukee. Milwaukee has been terrorizing us for many years, and I just think we do for a win against those guys. Take that monkey off our back. We showed we could play with this Indiana Pacers team. I know we just had a recent loss at LCA against Indiana. But we went in their place and we beat them in their place. So Indiana, I'm not afraid of Indiana either. That's a tense rivalry. We have this team went rivalry with this team for years. I'm not even worried about the Indiana Pacers. I'm not worried about the New York Knicks. If I'm Pistons, those other three teams, I'm not worried about them. Them two teams is on top of the number 1 and number 2 seed, the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those are the teams that's going to be real difficult matchups. because the talent of the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, what they present this year, with the guys like the Jared Allens and Evan Mobleys and Donovan Mitchells and Darius Garland and those guys and their, the style of play they have. So Cleveland and Boston are two clear teams, um, that in the Eastern Conference. So, and I want to take a look at the Western Conference standings, and you see how the Western Conference is very stacked, um, loaded with each other. You see teams like the Thunder and Rockets clearly, and then the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Lakers and the Clippers. You see those teams are like anywhere from 9 to 12 games behind first place. So the Western Conference is pretty stacked, and you still get to play in teams like the Sacramento's that's coming along, the Minnesota's, Dallas, and the Phoenix, Golden State Warriors, San Antonio, if they could turn around and get themselves together. But still got a long season to go. So yeah. So definitely, like I said, excited for this Pistons team. It's been a fun season, man. People has been coming out to the LCA, been showing out. It's been electric. It's been crazy. You know what I'm saying? It really has been crazy. So absolutely, LCA has been off the hook, man. Off the hook, man. For definitely, if you haven't been down to LCA this year yet, please make your way down there to the LCA, man. It's been electric. It's been fire. It's been, I'm telling you, the crowd's been going crazy. They see the turnaround with this team. They see these guys as playing together. They see these guys as, winning games, not losing games, winning games, I mean, just a big turnaround. I'm just so, we just so proud of this Pistons team, what they've went through, over the last 4 or 5 years. That they had this big turnaround like that. It's just been amazing. We starting getting some national media talks, starting getting some of them. This Detroit Pistons team is dangerous. This Detroit Pistons team has made a huge turnaround. This Detroit Pistons team could make some noise, make some threats. And you hearing all these good things about this Detroit Pistons team, what they can do. What can they pull an upset against this team? How good this young team is. You're hearing all these good things about this Detroit Pistons. We're so used to hearing this Pistons team is the worst in the NBA history. This Pistons team, they can't never get it done. They just, we just so used to hearing all these negative things. We just so used to hear that. As you a Detroit sports fan, you're so used to hearing that type of stuff. Even our own fan base saying the same thing. We so used to hearing that stuff. We just get tired of it. This whole city it's been turned around, man. It's been turned around. It's all started up. What happened with the Lions a few years ago, and it turns over to the Tigers, trans over now to the Pistons, and some degree the Red Wings as well. So, this Detroit sports town is back, man. It is back. We're definitely excited for this Pistons team, man. With JB Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon, come in, making moves, bringing some talent, bringing some veterans in. And I want to give a shout out, the Trajan for what he has did so far. I know he's not done, putting this team together. Whether what he's going to do with this trade deadline, if he's going to bring a big name or not, it remains to be seen. We just don't know what can happen. Things can happen. Anything can happen in this situation. So, I wouldn't bank on him trying to bring somebody big here for this season, because we got the up in the next season coming up. We see who's gonna bring what big name possibly might come here, what trades might be coming, players might be coming here off of a trade, what he's going to do in the draft. We just don't know. Only you can speculate and see. But I just meant this Pistons team. They're going to be very solid. They're going to be very solid going forward. And then it's gonna get to the point that you get players that's gonna be a free agency and on trade. They were like they went to the point. Oh, I want to come to Detroit. I want to play with this winning team. We've seen this. We've seen this too many times with other teams. You just see what OKC how they built a team, a young team. Now you get guys over a couple of veterans go over there for trade. Even a free agent go sign with the Thunder, go sign with the Orlando Magic, and sign with other teams that's been left dead for years. So it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. So my guy Ed, boy, what's up, boy? It's good to hear from you, man. It's good to hear from you. Good to hear from you, my guy. Yes, sir. Yeah, it'll be interesting. What they do in the trade line. You know what I'm saying? Trade deadline. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Definitely looking forward to what he does. Like I said, I'm not expecting him to make any big drastic moves or anything like that. This season, I'm not expecting him to do all those things. Not just making major moves. I'm not expecting that. I expect him, to let this thing play out for the season. See how far this thing can go with this team and what moves can be made to better this team to be one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference going forward, next season and going forward, so definitely excited about it, man. So but yeah, it's fun to talk about this team, man. It's really definitely fun talking about the Pistons. It's definitely fun, man. Just be here, just talking about them, bro. In a good way. It just feels amazing, bro. It really does. Got my guy Art in the building, man. Art, bro, what's up, brother?
What's good, man? What up, though? You good, man?
Man, I'm good, man. It just feel good talking about some Detroit Pistons basketball, bro.
There it does, man.
It really does, man. And like with Kay Cunningham, especially, bro.
Yeah.
Kay Cunningham has been unbelievable this year. Like each year, he is getting better and better. He's getting stronger. He's on his pace. He's taking his time. He's learning the game more. He got him a coach that can groom him to be better. He actually has that coach that's been waiting for. You see, he averaging his point totals have been going up each and every year since the rookie. His first year averaging 17.4 points a game. His second year averaging 19.9, almost 20 points a game. Last year averaging 22.7. This is fourth year, he averaging 24.6, almost 25 a game.
Yeah.
And look at his assists. 9.4 this year.
Third in the entire league.
Yeah.
Third in triple doubles in the entire league as well.
Exactly. Third in triple doubles, only from LeBron
and Jokic.
And Jokic. Yeah. He only behind with them two. Yeah. What Kay Cunningham has done, definitely is all-star level. Definitely all-star. And I say this, but I'll let you take over. I say this. If Kay Cunningham does not make the all-star team, I am not watching the all-star game. Period. I don't care who wins.
I think the all-star numbers just came out an hour ago, so I think he's a lock to make it now. He's just not going to start, unfortunately. Which is
no, I don't care about the start. We already know who the starters are.
Yeah, LaMelo isn't either. So I'll be real with you, man. I don't think LaMelo. You know what, man? DC, it's one of those things, man. When we say things like Detroit versus everybody, obviously outsiders will think there's just a level of complaining, man. You know, I'm a solution-oriented thinker, but let's be honest, man. There's a level of truth to it. You know, let's say LaMelo has his fandom, etc., man. Okay, he was putting up numbers last season, and we had one of the worst records in the league. Nobody was considering any of our players for All-Star games. Nobody was considering anybody for anything. You know, LaMelo has his team does not have 10 wins, and yet he had more votes than Cade Cunningham. Man, it's kind of wild. So you had all those people talking about Cade was putting up empty stats and all that foolishness, man. You know, where all those guys at now? So I say if they're saying that about Cade, why doesn't it not apply to LaMelo?
Exactly. But you know what though? Yeah, like I said, this All-Star voting thing is a joke.
It is.
It's a joke.
I don't think the fans should have a vote, man. I don't. I think it's gotten to the point where
they should not have a majority of the votes.
No, I think it. To be real with you, man. Back in the day, like apparently, before the ABA and the NBA merged, man, before you had your first votes, I was all done by the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, the game has grown exponentially since then, but it's got to the point where, man, these popularity contests are just out of hand. And so, you talk about the poor product of the league, fans have something to do with that as well. You get more and more casual fans. Not just sports in general, man. You get more and more casual fans that don't really know the game. They just want to be entertained. And they vote for foolishness, not knowing what they're voting for. Look at empty stats. Guys not winning, but you're putting up jacking threes, etc. Like, LaMelo shoots 40% from the field. Ridiculous. Trae Young shoots 33% from the field and shoots 29% from three. Ridiculous. And yet, like for instance, last night, to me, so just solidify what me and the rest of the brothers been saying when we go live, man, on doing the shows. Cade is the best point guard in the East. That's irrefutable. At what point he's won all the head-to-heads with his challenges, man. He's putting up better numbers. His team has a better record. He's more efficient. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what can be said? He's better defensively than all of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
What can really be said? Nothing.
Yeah. All the Jalen Brunsons and the Dave Lillard, the Darius Garlands and the Donovan Mitchells, and like you said, those good players, but they not doing what Cade is doing.
No,
they're not doing what Cade is doing, and because the fact is, what Cade is doing is his career. That's career he's doing right now. That's what he's doing right now. And he's just continuing to get better and better and better. He's picking his pace. He's taking his time. He's had cut down some of his turnovers. The run of problems he had in the past was been his turnovers. Even in the beginning of the season, early, he turned the ball over 2 times. He has cut down on his turnovers a lot. He's being more patient. He's getting everybody involved. People knocking down shots.
Yeah.
So speaking of people knocking down shots, man, we gotta give these veterans, man, that came in here, man, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris. I know people are saying about Tobias Harris. He's
hit or miss.
He's hit or miss, but he's been a veteran presence. He's been a veteran presence with this team. Tim Hardaway Jr. He's like he found a home because Tim Hardaway Jr. He's streaky. Yeah. But when he makes shots, he does make shots when he does. Malik Beasley has been the biggest acquisition we had from this veteran team, bro. For the veteran for this young team.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
He's been the biggest acquisition.
Yeah, no doubt. He's an argument for sixth man of the year, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's why it's going to be interesting to see what we do towards the deadline. Because the one thing I don't want us to do, we don't since we have a guy. Now, everybody who understood who's a real fan knew what Cade Cunningham was, but since he's finally emerged as that undisputed guy, It's about building around them. So I don't want us to, rest on our laurels. You know what I'm saying? If, as a report came out, Trajan, they'll consider all moves, and that's what it should be. Whether it's this, whether it's like, if we get a good deal, man, like I said with Bees, one thing that like my thing is we can't get overzealous, and then we can't get overly attached. I like the way Trajan put it out. If that report is actually his words and not just what the media is saying, I like Trajan's mindset. We're not going to get too high, but we're not going to be too low. We're not going to be just, satisfied, resting on laurels. If we can go out and get a guy, and it makes sense, we're going to get him. If we get draft capital back because, this team's trying to do X, Y, Z, we're going to do it. We got $14 million. One thing is for sure, there will be a move made. And I think that Trajan, well, even though this is his first year at the helm, bro, we have to give Trajan that Brad Holmes level of respect in terms of how he's building the team. You know what I'm saying? So we have to trust that, man. Look, so for instance, if a guy gets moved, might be a guy I like, but if his name is not Cade Cunningham, I have to trust the process that Trajan, because he's earned that. Not only the players earn their respect, and the leadership also earned this respect, and so he's earned that so far, man. So if he sees a move that can be made, for instance, like our young core, etc., obviously we don't see any of those people go, man. But I've been hearing some interesting rumors about all the cap flexibility that the Pistons might have at the end of the season. Certain guys, certain moves that they want to make to create more cap space and more expiring contracts. Might want to make a run after D Book. Now, I like Jalen Duren, J.I., and all them other dudes, man. But if I can bring D Book home and it don't cost me draft picks or K, I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Those are moves like that. Stuff like that is out there, man. So it's one of those things where, man, don't do anything dumb. But I don't think this leadership will. And at the same time, we can't rest on our laurels, man. It's one of those things. Just because we start winning some games, let's not get too caught up. The goal is still to build an eventual champion around K. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Playoff is nice. That's great. But we got to make moves that help us in the future. So, it's either for top flight guys, like top flight stars that can actually grow with your best player, or you get top flight young talent in here that you see as star potential. It can't be the middleman. We don't want to waste time on mediocre players, stuff like that. Getting guys that are not going to move the needle or not going to bring us back, assets that we can go get a guy, say draft wise, we feel they can add on to this core and move the needle. This is a deep draft. And one thing I've been saying is, I guarantee you, Trajan is going to have a first round pick, or if not more, in this draft. At the end of the day, every leader wants to be able to pick his new guys. That's just what it is, man. So there's moves to be made. I like Beasley. I like THJ, especially Beasley, man. As I said, I think personally, he's up there 6th man of the year talks. Peyton Pritchard obviously probably get that, but the way Beasley is played, he has to be considered for it. But at the same time, if a team comes offering the right deal, you offering potential first round picks, which is what he should cost. Yeah, you got to make a move. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a guy and that would be brilliant on Trajan's part, because you're getting a guy that came on a 1 year, $6 million deal, and you turn him into first round picks in one of the deepest drafts we had in the last 10 years. That's brilliant with leadership, man. So he's in a position to be able to do stuff like that. THJ, same thing, man. The way that those vets are playing, we're getting calls about those guys. So, we're in a good position, man. We got a lot of good problems to have. You know what I'm saying, man? We got good guys here. We got good, a couple of good young pieces that, they generate buzz, man. And one thing I like to say is, if other teams don't want your players, you don't have any players. Yeah. So, we starting to see, Jalen Duren starting to play well again. Hey, whatnot, man. Hey, so we'll see how it looks, man. We'll see how it looks. Asar's coming back to form as he gets back into shape. That's only about 70% of Asar, 60% of Asar. What we're looking at, man. Once he gets back all the way to 100%, that's watch out, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you watch out, man, because like I said, I was breaking down earlier, talking about the standings. If you really, like you say, if the playoffs started today, the Pistons would be as a 6 seed. They would not have
in the playoffs.
Or to play. They'd be in the playoffs. They'd play against the New York Knicks.
Yep. They can beat that team.
They can beat the New York Knicks. They beat them in the regular season 2 out of 3 times already. Both wins on the road at the Garden. So when you looking, like I said, to me, Cleveland and Boston to me are the two top best teams in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, um, like I said, with New York, they're a good team, but I just don't, like I said, they don't scare me. Um, Milwaukee, I know we have not beat Milwaukee in forever. It's been a long time since the Pistons had beat Milwaukee.
Yep.
Milwaukee doesn't scare me.
Nope.
Indiana Pacers, I know we just recently lost to them. Indiana
Should've
does
won
not
that game.
scare me. Yeah, we should have won it, but when we should have won that game. But the point, Indiana doesn't scare me. Miami's in shambles. They that the whole Jimmy Butler situation that's done. That's going to be done. They're going to trade him. Miami, yes, it's going to be within a couple of days in the league. They're going to trade him.
I'll trade Jimmy for a pair of forces if I was them, man. Go and get out of here, man.
Y'all gonna get out of here. And Atlanta, we just beat Atlanta. We already we're 2-0 against Atlanta. I think we played them one more time, I believe, or two more times, something like that. We already got them. I'm not worried about no Chicago. I'm not worried about the ones in the playing team. I'm not worried about them because the fact is the Pistons team are. If you really could look at it, if the Pistons keep playing the way they play, the Pistons could actually be the third or fourth best team in the Eastern Conference. And will I be surprised if the Pistons be a team to get to the fourth seed and have be a fourth seed and have a home playoff game in the first round at least? First round.
I think we need to make a move for a guy if we want to do that. So like a CJ McCollum, something like that, to kind of bolster the roster. We need one more dude to help Cade out if we're gonna make that kind of move. Because one thing is consider, that's towards that playoff push. That's when things start ratcheting up. So all those veteran teams that actually know how to make the playoffs, have won in the playoffs before. That's when the vice starts to get a little bit tighter. So that's part of what the reports have been talking about. Trading was like, we can actually kill two birds with one stone. We can be buyers and sellers. You know what I'm saying? We can go get guys like, so for instance, man, what Dale was talking about, he's like, man, so for instance, to the CJ McCollum angle. All right, well, say they said like something like THJ Fontecchio got CJ McCollum. He's a better player than both of those guys. Now he turns into $33 million expiring, and you got Tobias Harris contract. That's $25 million expiring. That turns into $50 million expiring, and you got a couple good young players on top of having draft picks. And you go make a run, bring Devin Booker home. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Those are the kind of moves, man. You think the long term, and then on top of that, you only have to. I think I remember we talked about this months ago, man. One team, when Bree was on here too. One team to take a look at and keep an eye on is going to be the Phoenix Suns, because they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't care if they make a move for Jimmy Butler or not. They're not going to make the playoffs, and then at that point, that's done, man. You got to blow that up. So those guys on there, man. We could bring to put along with Cade, bro, and honestly kind of buy low.
That's gonna
kind of buy low. It's gonna be very interesting, man. I think Trade has done a great job, bro. Cap space, one thing that comes to my mind when people criticize, him traded for signing Tobias Harris. Well, look at the kind of deal he got. He got 2 for 52. And so essentially, they don't realize, man, you got stars. You either got stars coming off the books, or you got guys that are going to be on their last legs with their teams. Phoenix is an example of that, man. None of those guys are going to do another season of losing. They're going to want out. And so we be in position to offer the kind of package that you need without actually having to break the bank to get some of those kind of guys. You know what I'm saying, man? We have cap space going into the off season, man. Or as he noted, when he's talking about taking back contracts to bring back assets. Well, here's the issue with that, or rather, here's a good thing about that. Sometimes people look at it, well, it's going to hamper the team's future and all that. The team's future is the young talent.
Yeah,
that's the team's future. The team's future is young talent. It's not about anything else other than that. Picks, right? Well, bro, if we take back a contract, chances are that's a pretty good player. Now, are we wrong?
Yeah.
You take back a guy, he's probably going to be a decent guy that's going to help us make the playoffs this year and get picks, man. Like, it's a lot of moves to be made, man. And then whatever Trader decides to do, I trust him. I trust his decision making. We got to respect it. He's earned that. As I said, I try not to get too overzealous, and I also try not to rest on our laurels, man. I want to get too attached to anybody that, if he feels that he can get an out of the park home run trade, that's not only going to help us now, but going forward, do what you got to do, man.
Yeah,
but it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm not expecting Trey Delaney to make a big splash move at the trade deadline. I'm not expecting anything. Like you said, I'm not expecting him to get like a big name or something. Not expecting all that. You hear the rumors, Brandon Ingram, and
I don't know about that.
I'm not expecting Trey Delaney if he does make a move. I'm not expecting him to do it in this trade deadline. I know I'm expecting he gonna see which player that's going to bring in this team who fit this culture, with it. You see how we talk with the Lions with Brad Holmes, who brings in the players that fit the culture with our Lions team. We see this with now I've seen this with Scott Harris with the Tigers. Seeing players he's signing, bringing in, and stuff. Steve Eisman, what you're doing with the Wings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a culture, it's a fit. Saying who's willing to sacrifice those wins and to play hard, and who's the culture builder. What I'm saying, for this team. So what Trey Delaney is doing he's done an amazing job. He made the job of, with the roster that he's is putting together. He's not finished.
No,
he's not finished. It's like our guy, the late great Kobe.
Yeah.
Is the job finished?
Nope.
Is the job finished?
Job never finished.
And ain't finished to their trophy.
That's right.
So that's what I said with Trey Delaney. He's doing this homework. He's looking to see what's going on. He's seeing who else can play with K. Cunningham? Who else going to play with Jaden Ivey? Who else going to play with Jalen Duren? Who else is going to play with Asar Thompson? Who I could put these? Who can I put that fit with these guys to make a deeper run in the playoffs? To be one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference, be one of the favorites to win, to bring a championship. Who is those guys that I can rely on? Who's that guy that I can rely on? I know Trey Delaney is he's doing a hell of a job. Came here.
Who's somebody you're interested in?
Huh?
Who's somebody you're interested in bringing on, like, in terms of a player?
Yeah, I'm not. I can't say which. I don't even know which player. I would just say whatever he does with player that he feels is be part of this team, I'm gonna support it. I'll support it. I love the move. I love when he hired JB Bickerstaff. You see how that's working out.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff is always a good coach. Cleveland, thank you for letting him go. I know you got Kenny Atkinson. Y'all doing a great job with him.
Yeah.
We thank you for letting us get JB Bickerstaff. We did not have to suffer another season of misery.
Right.
So, and like I said, I predicted this too with this season. I said between 37 to 45 wins.
Yep. I agree. Let's depend on what they want to do with it.
Yep. Like I said, the Eastern Conference is not deep. It's not really deep to me. It's really not.
We got the best player. Like with any team that's not really named Cleveland or Boston, all those matchups, let's say Cleveland, Boston, or Milwaukee, right? We have the best player, and that makes a world of difference. When you're watching the game and you realize the other team just cannot check Cade, man. When you got a dominant guy, man, that you got to go get it. That's why my biggest thing is whatever Trajan does, Cade still needs. First, one thing I do want them to address, if they want to make the playoffs, like get that fourth spot, they got to get another ball handler. Somebody else to help Cade out with the ball handling duty, because right now it's just Cade. Sasha kind of does the best he can with it, but he's a scorer, man. One thing I'd like to see if we're gonna get a guy, let's use him for what he's supposed to be doing. He should be coming off and taking ankles and shooting the rock. He shouldn't be trying to play like he's Chris Paul. That's not what Marcus Sasser is. So
No.
Get a guy that can come in, really, help run the offense, whatnot. I think that's something that they needed even when before Ji got hurt, because then he had to play backup point guard. And same thing, he has some passing chops, but you want Ji to score the ball, man. That's what he's a two guard. He's a shooting guard. That's what he should be doing. Some passing duties, but that's not. He should not be a backup PGK. That's not how it works. So they still need a guy to help, handle the rock. That's what I would like to see them address. I think, going forward, they need an offensively talented big man. Whether they're going to allow, because we've seen flashes from Jalen what he can really do with the ball. Now, sometimes those are just flashes, and it's not real in terms of in the game. And then sometimes a player can really do a lot more than what they're allowed to do. So I don't know which one is which with JD. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I think that's between him and Bickerstaff. Though we see him playing, a lot better, which I think some of it's health related. I remember saying that a few months ago, man. You sprain your ankle 4 times, especially the size you are, JD, brother, it's going to take a while to get back. It's going to take a while to get back. And then looking at JD, man, he looks revitalized. He's back to his springy self. He's getting back better defensively. He looked like what he looked like at the beginning of last season before the injuries, man.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. I think either JD, they got to go out and get a guy that can kind of help. I want somebody paired with Cade. He can run the pick and roll, the pick and pop with. You know what I'm saying, man? You get a big man like that. So we've seen flashes of JD, the mid-range game or whatnot. Is it JD? Are you just gonna actually let him play his whole game, or the little flashes that we've seen, is that not really, consistent enough, or do we got to go get a guy like that? So that's why I'm like, hey man, G.G. Jackson's coming back, getting healthy. Santi Aldama is a guy out there that the Memphis Grizzlies can't keep. They don't have the money for that.
But it's interesting you say that, because I think they holding off because I want to see Bobby Clipman. I want to see him when he's coming off I know he's going to be coming off an injury. I don't believe he might not play this season. If he does play, it's probably to see how he does. Yeah. I was high on Bobby Clipman when I saw the highlights this tape, before the draft. Like I said, the Pistons should have got him first round, but we got Ron Holland, which I like to pick as well. Ron Holland, but I want to see more. I want to see what Bobby Clipman, what he could do with this team. A guy that's very versatile. He can play some defense. He's a good scorer. He knows a decent scorer, but something he could develop as well. Same with Ron Holland. Ron Holland, a guy that's very versatile. That's going to play defense. He's going to learn to score. So that's going to come in time with that. So I'm very interested to see Bobby Clipman be that guy. Be a guy that can help JD in the future when Clipman gets some playing time to get us up going. Now Isaiah Stewart has been great this year. He's been great defensively. His hustle, we already know how he was even before, but you see a whole different Isaiah Stewart. Now he's bringing more the defensive energy more than he was in the past. Not saying he didn't, but you see the levels to it. Isaiah Stewart's out there blocking shots everywhere, hustling more, getting rebounds more, defending harder. He's, so I can't remember who compared. I saw something like I think it was on social media. They compared he could be someone else than Wallace. There's no. You can't compare him to the Ben Wallace.
Nah, he would be starting if that was the case. I think Ben. So here's the thing with Zay. A lot of it is better coaching. Number one, and number two, he's playing the role he should probably be playing at. He's the backup five. Come off the bench, bring that energy, bring that defense, and if you want to close the game with him like JB does, sometimes you can do that. it's about putting pieces in the right place, man. That's why I remember the show that we had at the very beginning of the season that we talk about, we like JB Bickerstaff as a hire, and it's about trusting the leadership. And so part of that aspect is, we said if we see some of the same things with some of our players that we've seen with other coaches, like so for instance, man, so JI took off under JB. Okay, so we know it was a coaching issue with Monty. But now we said, like, if some of the same things were to continue under JB, as much as I like whatever young man, maybe I overrate him in my eyes, because at that point it's 3 different coaches saying the same thing, and this head right here just went to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So now you're not gonna find 3 coaches that's just hating on you. So that's why I'm glad to see the improvement, man. Bringing the competent head in here, bringing that leadership in here. So I want to see JD continue to develop. Whatnot. As I said, man, we have good problems to have. We have good problems to have, and then we got to start asking ourselves, certain questions. Extension time is coming up. And so we got to think. That's what another thing Trajan has to evaluate. What does he want to do? Does he want to throw the bag at JI, JD, Asabi year after them, or does he want to actually, does he see better talent coming up in drafts, or does he see a potential star that goes okay, that, send a couple of them that way and get that guy? We'll see how that is, man. But what's good about this is that we can actually have those legitimate conversations, man. Last year, we couldn't even talk about what these guys were, let alone be able to go get a guy. Or, as I said, man, if your players are unwanted by other teams, they're not good. It don't matter what I think about them. If there's other teams that will not trade from our players, that means they're not very good.
Yeah,
that's just how that is. Man.
Yeah, they're not. But it's just like you said. This is very exciting to talk about this team, man.
Yeah,
Just very exciting. Like I said, we ain't talked positive about this team.
Yeah,
matter of fact, not even just say we ain't hearing any positive about this team it's been a while. It's been a while. Just for you're hearing the positive. Pistons are getting some national media attention, bro. Jay Cunningham was just with Inside the NBA the other day.
Great interview, by the way.
Huh?
Great interview, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was a great interview. Being on NBA Today last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. Being on NBA Today, being interviewed by Malika Andrews, and just Mark Spears.
I would have turned the Malika Andrews interview down if I was him, but that's all right, young fella. Go do what you got to do.
Yeah, but
I'll walk with her.
Yeah, and Kendrick Perkins, how he's speaking highly, but
he called it though. He said that quote that went out. He said that, bro. He said he called it.
Mm-hmm.
Said I said K was the best perimeter prospect I've seen in the draft since LeBron. Now, y'all said I was capping. Y'all didn't believe me. Now here we are.
Yep. He was in the last couple of years. He was in some tough situations, and now you see. Now you see
got some real heads around him now. Some guys with a pulse, man. Some of the guys we had around Cade, especially. So look, when the year before last, it's funny. 7 guys on that team that's not in the NBA anymore. And last year's team is 3 guys on the team that's not in the NBA anymore. And all of which were 10 guys were getting minutes. With K, so what did we expect him to do, man? It's a wonder that K was able to average 22 and 8 last year with those guys.
Yeah,
and that coach and those guys, man. Come on, bro. Killian Hayes not in the league anymore. Hamidou Diallo not in the league anymore, man. Corey Joseph, I think he just got picked up again, but he on the end of the bench somewhere, or not in the league anymore. A couple of these dudes playing in China, man. Or in the Iranian league somewhere, brothers. And we finally, the first year the K gets people with a pulse. And there's the thing, that's what I'm saying. Let's not rest on our laurels, because it's upgrades to get, man. It's upgrades to get out there. Yeah. For instance, it's a good question. Is going, do we re-sign Beasley? Okay.
We better re-sign Beasley.
We might, but what if you can turn Beasley into Devin Booker? Do I re-sign Beasley? No. I go get Devin Booker. If I could turn Beasley into, let's say, if I could turn Beasley into multiple lottery picks, and you trade them. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things you talk about, foundational building blocks, because there's also heads we can go out there and get, man. We can go out and get another little rumor that got floated around today. Pistons might be interested in Dante DiVincenzo. I'd be very interested in Dante DiVincenzo. I'm very interested.
I'm not gonna. I like Dante DiVincenzo, but I'm not gonna go that far with that. But like I said, that's just a rumor. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see with that. And like I said, you need somebody to, need somebody at least to take over with Jaden Ivey. In that position, it just sucks that Jaden Ivey went down with that nasty injury. But it really sucks, because just imagine Ivey was playing right now and the way how this Pistons team is playing. We wouldn't have lost some of the games like the Indiana. We wouldn't have lost to Indiana. I mean, I'm just saying.
At the end of the day, they lost 17.5 points a game, so that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be interesting what they do going forward, man, because moves can't be made. And like I told you, I'm not overzealous to say we got to go out and get X, Y, Z. I think Trajan's got a plan about what he wants to do, but at the same time, just if I trust the leadership, man, I can't go too attached to anybody, man. The only guy that can't go for the right deal is Kay Cunningham, because there's no right deal to make for Kay Cunningham. He's that dude. Anybody else, even if I say, man, I hate to see him go, I do trust that if he gets packaged up or they get shipped out, it's because Trajan got something better coming back. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the game, and that's part of the that's why he sits in that seat and us laymen, we don't, because he's the one that's he's got to be non-biased. He's the one that's got to be always searching for a way to upgrade the team. That's his job. Yep. So if you're not taking phone calls for guys, you're not doing your job in that seat. Period. So it's a lot of guys. I'd hate to see anybody on this team go. Period.
Yeah.
But if you tell me you brought back X, Y, Z, or this, that, and the third, or this package right here, I can't say I blame leadership for doing what they said they have to do. If it's a good package.
Yeah, but you also can't. And quickly before we get out of here, but you also can't. When we get packages, sometimes some packages is not always be the right fit.
Do you trust the Trajan would trade for something that's not the right fit?
I trust them.
That's what that is.
If
I trust him, I trust him.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if a move don't get made, it's because he didn't see something that he felt fit where his vision was, or the deal proposed did not knock his socks off. But if somebody comes with a knock your socks off deal for what he values, and it also depends on what other teams value players at, and then what the leadership values the players at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody, as I said, everybody in this on this team, not named Cade Cunningham, should be up for discussion. Now, if you come at us with
not Ivy either. Not Ivy either.
Ivy could go if I brought back Devin Booker. I would trade Ivy for Devin Booker. Absolutely, I would. That's an all-NBA player for a guy giving you 17 points a game. I'm not that attached, bro. That's all
I'm not giving up Jaden Ivey.
He's not as good as Devin Booker. That's crazy.
I understand that, but I'm not giving up Jaden Ivey.
He's not going to be as good as Devin Booker either.
I'm not giving up Jaden
Ivey. No, I'm just being real with you, dog. That's as I said, bro. I'm not going to be the only dude is Cade. Everybody else would be a steep price, but they got a price.
I'm not giving up Jaden Ivey. I'll tell you that much.
I keep a saw over all the perimeter guys. That's game changing. Bro, you know what, man? Something's funny. Ever since Asar got inserted back into the starting lineup, man, we went from middle of the pack to now our defense is third in the entire league.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there. So, in spacing, a guy doesn't always need to be able to jack up threes to create spacing. Asar creates the spacing with his athleticism, his decision making, and his ability to attack the rack.
Yeah.
But once again, if a deal come back and say like for instance, bro, would you trade Ivy for Jokic? But if it's not an immediate yes, then we not talking about nothing, man. That's the best player in the NBA. Yes, for me at least, the answer is yes. Like if it's something like that, you got to do it.
Can't argue with that.
If something like that, you got to. If we talking about all NBA guys, we're not talking about some old past his prime, still good, just on his name only, kind of like Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the Pistons, I'll stay far away from Jimmy Butler. I'm not giving you young talent. I'm not giving you picks for Jimmy. Jimmy is 35. You've never won, and you're never healthy. Jimmy thinks, brother, you're not in a position to be making demands, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Not with Pat Riley being over there.
No, Pat Riley don't play that.
LeBron couldn't do that.
Exactly.
This is my house if I run this show.
And I don't blame him, because I personally think a little bit of that. You know, I'm glad to see, flexibility, amongst players and, whatnot, man. But I think some of that needs to get dialed back now, because ever since the product has been in solely in the possession really of the players, it's gone down. Guys aren't playing. And one thing I say about it, man, because, I hear people that, argue with it or debate about it. And I guess they feel like, ownership shouldn't have that kind of control of the players because most of the players are black. But let me say something about this, man. Because I think some of the stuff we talking about, bro, is getting silly. We can't compare what these dudes in the league are doing to what our ancestors went through in terms of oppression. Bro, y'all got jobs making hundreds of millions of dollars. Man, cut that out, bro. Y'all not oppressed, bro. Who gets the short end of the stick? Is think about this, bro. It's mostly the black fans that come to see the games who, good and well, more than likely have harder economic conditions, but yet they spending money to come see the best players play, and they don't play.
Mm-hmm.
If you somebody living out in Beverly Hills, you're not worried about buying a ticket that costs XYZ amount of money to see LeBron, man. But if you somebody living in South Central LA, man, save up enough money, maybe your son or your daughter doing good in school, you want them to go to the Lakers game, Anthony Davis sitting there in street clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi doing low management. Stuff like that. What? You know what I'm saying? That's got to cease. Yeah. I think the league needs to start clamping down on that, bro. Like, these guys got to start. You got to earn your check, dog. Like anybody else. If I don't go to work, I don't eat. If you don't go to work, you don't eat. If y'all don't play, y'all shouldn't eat either.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been another great show, man. It's been another great show, man. Definitely, man. Talk about the Detroit Pistons, man. My guy Ark here, man. It's fun talking about this team, man. It's definitely fun, bro. Man. We gotta keep this team. Just gotta keep it going, keep it pushing. You're gonna have games. It's gonna be fight to the end. You're gonna have games. You're gonna blow out wins. You're gonna have games. You get blown out losses. It's just compete hard.
Yeah.
Keep playing hard. You compete. These guys are playing. Brotherhood. They playing good. They playing great ball. They're currently in 6th spot. And we're proud of this team, man. We're definitely proud. The city's proud. The state of Michigan is proud. From a disaster last season to what it is now. So definitely it's been exciting, man. So but yeah, it's been another great episode of D313 XP, man. Like I said, your boy DC1 is back, finally back. Finally back, man. I know Bree, been holding it down for a while. I know Miss J, he's being known as J. He can't help himself. What I'm saying?
Look, you got that promotion, and all of a sudden, man, he wasn't making videos, man. But that's what happens when you get to corporate level, ain't it right, DC?
Yeah.
DC corporate now.
Oh, man, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Moving on up. Hey.
Don't do that.
He earned his way up. Now we proud of him. He earned his way up, man.
Don't do that. But yeah, man. But definitely, man, it's been another great episode, man. Got my guy Art. Thank you for always showing love with the channel, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to the channel of D313 XP. Myself, Miss J and Bree. Got my own 16. Shout out to my guy on 16 as well.
Yeah,
Shout out
definitely.
to my guy, my Arc man. Arc. Matter of fact, Arc. I don't know. I probably wasn't aware.
Mm.
Maybe I was and I wasn't. But for those you seen Art been on probably on Facebook live talking about me being on the XP, you know what I'm saying, talking about Pistons, Lions, and what's other stuff going on out on his mind. I don't know, Bree introduced you to it or maybe no, Miss Jane, but
Mm.
I'm gonna say this live before we ended the show.
What up, though?
You are, to me, you are
Mm.
part of the XP family, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
You are part of the XP family.
Appreciate you, brother.
You are another member of the D313 XP, man. We definitely appreciate your love and support,
Mm.
and I would like to congratulate you be part of the family, brother.
Appreciate that, brother. Yeah,
Appreciate you being
yeah.
part of the family, man. So we definitely
Appreciate
glad to
that.
have you. So, but yeah, man, like I said, it's been a great Pistons episode. We're gonna be bringing you another content again. This time, I'm still over this Lions thing, but we're gonna get to that in another episode.
Yeah.
That's another episode. We'll get to that. So
I'm glad to see Aaron Glenn get a job. Shout out to that, brother.
shout out to Aaron Glenn, yes, but we'll talk Lions another time. This is we'll talk Lions another time, man. But yeah, that's that being said, man. It's your boy DC1, my guy, the newest member of the D313 XP Art. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Also, you follow me on the other one, Dynasty Sports Network, with my guy Big Willie Styles, Wise Man Cass, got my guy Big A, got my guy Zell, Coach of Detroit. Make sure y'all head down to Culture Downtown, down on Griswold, and make sure you head to Culture Detroit down there on Livernois and the Avenue of Fashion, the 7 Mile. Make sure you stop on by and say Dynasty Sports Network sent you down there as well, man. So as you said, it's your boy DC1. Got Art. We out of here.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.